Hello, lovely people of the internet. I'm the chosen Epicurus. I'm both an undergraduate student of Jewish philosophy and Talmud, and I'm also an ex-ultra-Orthodox Jew. Today, I would like to talk about something that Prince Harry brought up in his book, Spare. I thought it was a great book, I enjoyed reading it, but something did strike me while I was reading the book. And this is his retelling of what happened to him after he showed up to a party dressed like a soldier from World War II in Germany. I'm not gonna say the word because YouTube doesn't like the word, but you know what I mean. So he talks about how his father sent him to the Chief Rabbi of Britain to basically figure out what to do next after this happened. So I'm gonna quote what he wrote in the book. Pa sent me to a holy man, bearded, bespectacled, with a deeply lined face and dark wise eyes. He was Chief Rabbi of Britain, that much I'd been told. But right away I could see he was much more. I actually read some of Rabbi Zach's books, and he is one of the most brilliant people we ever seen. By the way, he is deceased now, and I could really relate to how Prince Harry was describing him. He didn't mince words. He condemned my actions. He wasn't unkind, but it had to be done. So that's one of the things that is very accurate, in my opinion. I wasn't there, obviously, but knowing rabbis and knowing how forgiveness and absolution, atonement, I guess, is the proper word in Judaism works, the first step would be to acknowledge what you did wrong. So in this part, there would be no mincing words. There would be no, oh my gosh, like, you did nothing wrong, it's fine, it's okay. Like, you have to understand what you did wrong. So that's very accurate. There was no way around it. He also placed my stupidity in historical context. He spoke about the 6 million, the annihilated Jews, Poles, etc. So yeah, that's also very accurate. You need to understand the scope of your wrongdoing. Harry is describing how he felt self-loathing, and again, it wasn't the rabbi's aim, and that's also very true. He urged me to not be devastated by my mistakes, but instead to be motivated. He spoke to me with a quality one often encounters in truly wise people: forgiveness. He assured me that people do stupid things, say stupid things, but it doesn't need to be their intrinsic nature. Very, very true to Jewish doctrine. I was showing my true nature, he said, by seeking to atone, seeking absolution. To the extent that he was able and qualified, he absolved me. So I do have a problem with that paragraph specifically, saying that to the best of his ability he absolved me, because I understand that Prince Harry wrote those lines from a perspective of someone who grew up around Christian people. I know that Harry doesn't necessarily identify as Christian, so I'm not going to label him in that context, but that would be true if you saw a priest, but he didn't go and meet a priest, he met a rabbi. So the rabbi probably, I wasn't there, but he probably did not absolve him. I'm not saying that Prince Harry is lying. This is probably how he understood the way things worked. But I want to give you a proper context of how sins and atonement work in Judaism, so you can get a bigger picture and understand why I have a problem with the concept of he absolved me. So in Judaism, you have two kinds of sins. You have sins that you committed against God, and you have sins that you committed against humans. Now, the first scholars to make that difference was the later prophets. They kept talking about how you can be a righteous person in the way of ritual, but not a righteous person in the way you behave with people. And that's the constant tension in religion. I think Immanuel Kant spoke about it in his philosophy. There is this constant tension between people doing all the right ritualistic behaviors within the faith, and then they think that they can get away with anything because God favors them. So in Judaism, later on, the Jewish sages made a distinction, and they said sins are divided into two. There are sins between humans, and there are sins between a human and God. And when you commit a crime against God, which means you transgressed against the laws of Moses, and you atone in front of God, you fast, you give charity, you try to fix specifically the kind of sins that you did, so you try to do the opposite of what you did. So let's say you were a serial shoplifter. You didn't steal from a specific person, but you stole from big chain stores. So what you would do would be to first, fast and do all the ritualistic atonements, but you would also do something called the counterweight. So donate to a charity that helps people who were targets of theft, or donate to charities that helps to rehabilitate people who steal. Something like that, to make a positive impact instead of the negative impact that you had. So that's like the absolution that would happen if you did like a general crime that is against God more than against a specific human being. Another way to absolve a crime that you committed is if you did it directly to a person. So for instance, you deceived a specific person. So you have to get forgiveness from that person. And if that person does not forgive you until the rest of your life, you were never absolved, basically. And in both cases, you can see that there is no rabbi involved. There is no other power other than yourself involved in the process, which is something that I really like about Judaism, even though I'm not a practicing Jew, I'm an atheist. So it's this accountability that you can see. You have to take actions in order to atone. And it's your responsibility. There is no higher power in the universe that can absolve you if you committed crimes against people. There is no specific religious crime, in promoting German World War II uniform. So that wouldn't be something that God needs to forgive. It's a crime against people. So your acts of redemption would have to involve the people you harmed. So to my understanding, Rabbi Sachs offered a bunch of steps, such as meeting Holocaust survivors, going to Berlin to see the Holocaust monument, and educating yourself about the Holocaust in general. So those actions make sense in the sense of Jewish doctrine. Only once you do the steps to get the forgiveness from the people you harmed, and also kind of to cancel the negative impact you did, only then you're absolved. So like the rabbi himself doesn't absolve you. Interesting, huh? So yeah, I think that Prince Harry didn't mean to put it that way. Like, I think that he understood it in the context of the world that he lives in, and he doesn't have like the prior Jewish knowledge to understand exactly what Jewish atonement looks like. So I don't think he meant anything by misunderstanding the rabbi. But I think that it's very good that he took accountability, that he knows what he did wrong, and that nowadays he lives a non-racist, non-anti-Semitic life. I mean, I'm assuming that this is the way he lives now, and I applaud him for that. And again, the book was very interesting. So if you want to hear more about the Jewish culture from all kinds of aspects, I talk about everything Jewish from, the experience of being ex-ultra Orthodox, but also from the point of view of someone who studies Jewish philosophy. So if you like this video, subscribe to me. There are more videos that are going to come. And also please like the video so I and the algorithm would know that you enjoyed watching. Okay, thank you very much. Meow.